What if I told you that every single rejection you've faced is actually the biggest opportunity of your life? Yeah, you heard that right. The world tells you to chase approval, but real power lies in mastering rejection. Today, we're diving deep into 13 powerful lessons every man needs to flip the script on rejection, especially in relationships. Get ready, because by the end of this video, rejection will be your greatest weapon, not your weakness. Think you can handle the truth? Comment below. Rejection is power if you're ready to watch this video until the end and change the way you see rejection forever. Many men struggle with rejection. Whether it's being ghosted, ignored, or flat out rejected, it leaves you feeling powerless, questioning your worth. But here's the truth. Every single rejection is an opportunity to build unshakable strength. And listen closely. Don't even think about skipping a single part of this video, because I'm saving the most powerful lesson as a bonus at the end. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. This video could be the difference between staying stuck and becoming the man who thrives in the face of rejection. Now let's get started. Lesson 1. Ignore them too. When someone rejects you, your first instinct might be to win them over. You want to prove you're worth their time, that they made a mistake. But here's the cold, hard truth. Chasing someone who rejected you is the fastest way to lose your self-respect. It doesn't matter whether it's a woman, a boss, or a friend. When someone pushes you away, your response should be simple. Ignore them too. Sounds harsh, doesn't it? But it's not. You see, attention is currency. The more attention you give to someone who rejects you, the more you devalue yourself. You've got to show that you don't need their approval. That's the power play. You want to know why ignoring them is so effective? Because it flips the power dynamic. Let's talk about the psychology behind it. When someone rejects you, they expect you to react. They want the validation of knowing that you care. They get an ego boost from seeing you hurt. But when you turn the tables and act like their rejection doesn't matter, it messes with their head. Suddenly, they're the ones questioning their decision. They're the ones wondering, why didn't he chase me? Did I make a mistake? And just like that, you've gained control. In today's dating world, especially with apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Instagram, rejection is more public and more common than ever before. You send a message, you're left on read. You go on a date, and they ghost you. Sound familiar? This is the new normal. But here's what most men don't realize. Women are drowning in attention. They've got DMs flooding their inboxes, matches stacking up, and likes pouring in. To them, your attention is cheap. So when you pull back and stop giving them what they're used to, when you stop chasing, you become rare. And in a world of abundance, rarity is power. So here's what you do. The next time she leaves you on red, ghosts you, or rejects your advances, don't text her back. Don't call her. Don't stalk her Instagram. Just go silent. Focus on your life, your grind, your goals. You've got bigger things to worry about than someone who can't see your value. By ignoring her, you're not only protecting your dignity, you're putting the ball back in her court. And guess what? Most times, she'll be the one coming back, wondering why you suddenly disappeared. But by then, you'll be so focused on leveling up, you won't even care. Lesson 2. Don't react emotionally. Rejection sucks. It triggers that primal part of your brain that screams, I'm not good enough. You get angry, frustrated, maybe even a little desperate. You feel the need to react, to prove that you're worth it, to defend yourself. But listen carefully, because this is where most men fail. The moment you react emotionally, you lose all your power. That emotional outburst, that pleading text, that angry rant, it's a gift to the person who rejected you. You're telling them that their rejection has control over you. And that, my friend, is the last thing you want to do. Here's the truth. Emotional control is one of the most attractive qualities a man can have. Women are biologically wired to test men's emotional resilience. When they reject you, they want to see how you handle it. Do you crumble? Do you beg for their attention? Or do you stay cool, calm, and collected? The men who stay composed in the face of rejection are the ones who stand out. They're the ones women come back to because they've proven they're not easily shaken. They've shown they have something most men don't: inner strength. Think about it. When you react emotionally, what are you really doing? You're feeding the other person's ego. You're showing them that they have power over you. Whether it's a woman who rejected you after a date, a friend who ghosted you, or even a boss who passed you up for a promotion, your emotional reaction is a signal that you're not in control. And here's the kicker. The more you react, the more they pull away. They've got you on a leash, and every time you let your emotions run wild, you're tightening the noose. Next time you're hit with rejection, whether it's in dating, work, or life, take a deep breath. Feel the emotions, but don't act on them. Let the storm pass, and once you've calmed down, make a rational decision. Do you really want to give someone who rejected you the power to control your emotions, or are you going to take back control and rise above it? Here's a simple exercise. Next time you feel the urge to react emotionally, count to 10. Then count to 10 again. Keep counting until the urge passes. Once you're in control, make your next move from a place of power, not desperation. Lesson 3. Remove them from your mind. Most men are slaves to their own thoughts. You get rejected, and suddenly that person is all you can think about. You replay the conversation over and over in your head, wondering what you could have done differently. Maybe if you'd said something else, or worn a different outfit, or made a better joke, they wouldn't have rejected you. Stop. Right there. Overthinking is the death of confidence. Every time you think about someone who rejected you, you're giving them power. You're allowing them to live rent-free in your head, and that's the last thing you need. Let me tell you something about high-value men. They don't waste their mental energy on people who don't value them. If someone rejects them, they shrug it off and move on. Why? Because they understand that their mental energy is their greatest asset. They don't waste it on overanalyzing, overthinking, or obsessing over people who don't deserve it. They focus on themselves, their goals, their purpose, and in doing so, they become unstoppable. Here's the problem with overthinking. It keeps you stuck. Instead of moving forward, you're constantly looking backward, trying to figure out where you went wrong. But here's the reality. You didn't go wrong. They just weren't the right fit for you. Maybe it wasn't the right time, or maybe they just didn't see your value. Either way, it doesn't matter. The more time you spend thinking about them, the less time you're spending on your own growth. And that's the real tragedy. So how do you stop thinking about someone who rejected you? Simple. Redirect your focus. Every time they pop into your head, shift your attention to something else, whether it's your work, your fitness, or a new project. Don't let them hijack your mental space. Instead, use that energy to invest in yourself. The next time you catch yourself obsessing over someone who rejected you, stop. Go for a run, hit the gym, or dive into a new book. Do something that takes your mind off them and puts your focus back where it belongs, on you. Lesson 4. Demonstrate your value. Here's a cold, hard truth. People value what they can't have. When someone rejects you, they're telling you that, in their eyes, you're not valuable enough. Brutal, right? But here's where most men go wrong. They take that rejection as a permanent statement of their worth. They assume that just because one person didn't see their value, no one else will either. Let me stop you right there. Your value isn't determined by someone else's opinion. Just because one person didn't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And the best way to show them and yourself that you're valuable, demonstrate it. You want to know what really gets under the skin of someone who rejected you, watching you succeed, watching you thrive without them. When they see you leveling up, hitting your goals, and living your best life, it'll hit them where it hurts. Suddenly, they'll realize they missed out on something great. And here's the best part. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself. Their opinion of you doesn't matter anymore because you've proven to yourself that you're valuable with or without their approval. Let me give it to you straight. Success is the best revenge. Not because you want to get back at them, but because it proves to yourself that you're more than what they thought. When you focus on your growth, your success, and your goals, you become untouchable. People start to notice. They start to realize that you're not the same person they rejected. You've evolved, you've leveled up, and now they're the ones who feel small. Next time someone rejects you, don't waste time trying to win them back. Instead, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Start a new fitness routine, dive into your career, or pick up a new skill. Whatever you do, do it for you. And when you start seeing results, when you start noticing how much you've grown, you'll realize that their rejection was the best thing that ever happened to you, because it pushed you to prove to yourself just how valuable you really are. Lesson 5. Cut off contact. Let's get one thing straight. Cutting off contact is the ultimate power move. When someone rejects you, your first instinct might be to keep the lines of communication open. Maybe you think, if I stay in touch, they'll change their mind. Wrong. Keeping in contact with someone who rejected you is the fastest way to lose your self-respect. You're giving them the opportunity to come and go as they please, to keep you in their back pocket as a backup option. And you're better than that. The moment someone rejects you, your response should be simple. Cut them off. Cutting off contact isn't about being petty or playing games. It's about taking back control of your life. When someone rejects you, they don't deserve access to you anymore. They don't get to know what's going on in your life. They don't get to see your successes, your struggles, or your growth. You're building a wall of self-respect, and they're on the outside. Here's the psychology behind it. When you cut off contact, you create mystery, and mystery is powerful. When they can't see what you're up to, they start to wonder. They start to question their decision, and that's when the tables turn. Most men think that staying in contact will give them a second chance. They think that if they stay close, the person who rejected them will eventually change their mind. But here's the harsh reality. The more you stay in contact, the less valuable you become. You're telling them that their rejection didn't matter, that you're still available for them whenever they want. And that, my friend, is the fastest way to lose your self-worth. Next time someone rejects you, don't text them, don't call them, and don't stalk their social media. Cut them off completely. Block them if you have to. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about protecting your mental and emotional well-being. By cutting off contact, you're signaling that you value yourself too much to be someone's backup plan. And trust me, when they see that you've moved on without them, it'll mess with their head far more than any words ever could. Lesson 6. Prove them wrong. Let me tell you something that most people won't. Rejection is the best motivation you'll ever get. When someone doubts you, walks away, or ghosts you, they're not just rejecting who you are, they're rejecting your potential. And that right there, that's the fuel you need to level up. The best part is, proving them wrong isn't even about them. It's about showing yourself what you're capable of. You're not just proving them wrong, you're shattering the limitations they tried to place on you. Here's the truth. When they rejected you, they underestimated you. But you, my friend, are going to prove them wrong in the best way possible. You're going to use every bit of that rejection as fire to fuel your success. Whether it's in your career, your fitness, or your relationships, you're going to rise so far above their expectations that they'll be left wondering how they ever doubted you in the first place. But here's the kicker. Don't do it to win them back. Don't do it to make them regret walking away. Do it for yourself. Because once you start thriving, you won't even care about what they think anymore. And trust me, that's when they'll really start paying attention. Set a personal goal that scares you, something big, something ambitious, and then work relentlessly to achieve it. Whether it's getting in the best shape of your life, landing that dream job, or mastering a new skill, let your results do the talking. When they see you winning without them, they'll regret ever doubting you. But by then, you'll be too busy living your best life to even notice. Lesson 7. Go out and have fun. Listen closely. You've been rejected, and it hurts. I get it. But here's what you're not going to do. You're not going to sit around and wallow in self-pity. You're not going to overthink what went wrong or waste your nights scrolling through their Instagram, wondering if they're happier without you. No, what you're going to do is the exact opposite. You're going to get out there and have the time of your life. You're going to live in a way that shows the world, and more importantly yourself, that their rejection hasn't broken you. In fact, it's made you stronger. Here's why this is so powerful. When you start having fun, when you start living your life with joy and passion, something incredible happens. Not only do you feel better about yourself, but the people who rejected you start noticing, and they start to wonder if they made a mistake. Why? Because nothing is more attractive than a person who is genuinely enjoying their life. People want to be around others who radiate positivity and confidence. So, while they're sitting there thinking you're heartbroken over them, you're out there living it up, and that's going to mess with their head more than anything else. Next weekend, make plans. Call up your friends, hit up that new spot in town, or try something you've never done before. Go out, meet new people, and most importantly, have fun. Document it. Post it on your social media, not to rub it in their face, but to remind yourself that you're living your best life without them. Lesson 8. Build your social status. Here's a hard truth that most people don't like to admit. Your value in the dating game is directly tied to your social status. The higher your social value, the more attractive you become. It's not just about looks or charm. It's about influence. High-value men don't chase approval because they don't need to. They naturally attract attention and respect because of the circles they move in, the value they provide, and the lives they lead. If you want to truly rise above rejection, you need to start building your social status. You need to start positioning yourself as a man of value, a man with influence. That means elevating every aspect of your life, your career, your network, your lifestyle. When you build a reputation for being successful, driven, and respected, you won't have to chase women. They'll be drawn to you because they can see that you're a man who's going places. Let's talk relationships for a second. Women are naturally attracted to men who are leaders, men who command respect and attention. And it's not about being the loudest guy in the room. It's about being the guy who everyone wants to be around because you have something valuable to offer. Whether it's your wisdom, your ambition, or your presence, women want to be around men who elevate them. And that's exactly who you're going to become. Start investing in yourself and your social circle. Join groups, clubs, or organizations where you can meet other driven, successful people. Start networking and building connections that will help you elevate your life. Whether it's in business, hobbies, or social settings, make sure you're surrounding yourself with high-value individuals. Your social status is your calling card. Make sure it reflects the man you're becoming. Lesson 9. Act like they don't exist. You want to know one of the most powerful moves you can make after being rejected? Act like they don't even exist. That's right. Cut them out of your mind, your thoughts, and your life entirely. Don't give them a second thought. Here's why this works. People are naturally drawn to what they can't have. When you stop acknowledging their existence, you become a mystery. And what's more intriguing than a man who seems completely unaffected by rejection? Nothing. The minute you stop caring about their opinion is the moment you regain all your power. It shows that their rejection doesn't define you, and it certainly doesn't dictate how you live your life. Imagine running into someone who rejected you, and instead of going out of your way to talk to them or acknowledge them, you keep living your life as if they're invisible. Trust me, that's going to mess with their head far more than any confrontation or awkward conversation ever could. But here's the thing. This isn't about playing games or being petty. This is about reclaiming your energy and focus. It's about showing yourself that you don't need anyone's validation to feel worthy. When you act like they don't exist, you're not being cold, you're being in control. You're making it clear that your happiness and success are independent of their opinion. The next time you see someone who rejected you, don't go out of your way to acknowledge them. Don't seek their approval or validation. Just keep living your life as if they never mattered. You'll be amazed at how much power that gives you, and how much it'll leave them second-guessing their decision. Lesson 10. Give them the silent treatment. Now, this one's going to hit hard, the silent treatment. It's not about ghosting or playing mind games. It's about protecting your peace and regaining control over your emotional energy. Here's the deal. When someone rejects you, especially in today's hyper-connected world, the temptation is to seek closure, to reach out, to ask for explanations, to try and fix the situation. But let me stop you right there. The most powerful thing you can do is go completely silent. Silence isn't weakness. In fact, it's the ultimate display of strength. When you stop responding, stop engaging, and stop seeking validation from someone who rejected you, you take all the power back. And here's the kicker. They'll notice. They'll wonder why you haven't reached out, why you haven't begged for their attention, and that silence will eat at them far more than any argument or explanation ever could. Think about it. When was the last time silence drove you crazy? When you're used to someone always being available, always responding, and then suddenly they go quiet, it's unsettling. That's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to give them the silent treatment, not to manipulate them, but to protect yourself. You deserve your peace. And they don't deserve the privilege of your attention anymore. The next time someone rejects you or ghosts you, don't reach out. Don't try to fix things. Just let them sit in the silence. Focus on your own life, and let your silence be your answer. It'll drive them crazy, and meanwhile, you'll be leveling up in every area of your life. Lesson 11. Don't beg for attention. You've heard it before, and I'll say it again. Never beg for attention. This is crucial in today's world, where the majority of people, especially women, expect men to chase them endlessly. Think about it for a second. The moment you start begging for attention, you're telling the world that your value depends on how much attention you receive from others. You're broadcasting insecurity, and nothing turns people off faster than a man who lacks self-worth. Here's the cold, hard truth. When you beg, you're no longer a high-value man. You're placing yourself in the position of the needy, the desperate, and the powerless. And guess what? Women can smell desperation from a mile away. The moment you stop begging for attention, you regain your power. Stop waiting for validation from others. Focus on your own value, your own growth, and your own life. The next time you feel the urge to seek someone's attention, remind yourself of this. You're the prize. They should be seeking your attention. So if someone isn't giving you the attention you think you deserve, cut them off. Silence is your new best friend. If they don't appreciate you, they don't deserve you. End of story. Lesson 12. Be kind but emotionally distant. Here's where things get really interesting. A lot of guys think that when someone rejects them, they have to either go all in on being super nice to win them back or cut them off completely. But what if I told you there's a better way? Be kind, but emotionally distant. This strategy is powerful because it shows that you can still be respectful and courteous while protecting your heart. Being kind doesn't mean being a doormat. You can smile, exchange pleasantries, and even share a laugh. But emotionally, you remain untouchable. Why? Because they no longer have access to your emotions. The key here is balance. You're polite, but not overly friendly. You're warm, but not available. You show them that you're the bigger person, that you can move on without drama. But make no mistake, your emotional walls are up. Next time you see someone who's rejected you, give them a nod, a smile, or a quick hello, but that's it. No deep conversations, no pouring your heart out. Keep it light and move on. You're in control now, not them. This isn't about playing games. It's about maintaining your dignity and self-respect. Lesson 13. Never reveal your struggle. Listen, rejection is tough, but the worst thing you can do is wear your pain on your sleeve. Why? Because when you show people your struggle, you're giving them power over you. You're showing them that they have the ability to affect your emotions, your life, and your mood. And let's be honest, not everyone deserves that kind of power. Here's the reality. When you reveal your struggle, it doesn't make people feel sorry for you. It makes them see you as weak. You might think that opening up and showing vulnerability will make people care, but in most cases, it doesn't. Especially in the dating world, vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, not a strength. The key is to keep your pain to yourself. Let your struggle fuel you, not break you. Use it as a tool for growth, but never let anyone see you crumble. If you're going through a tough time after being rejected, keep it to yourself. Don't post about it on social media. Don't text them telling them how much you miss them. Handle your struggle in private and let the world see you as strong and composed. Trust me, nothing makes people regret their decisions more than seeing you unaffected. Bonus lesson: rejection is redirection. Congratulations! If you've made it this far, you've unlocked the bonus lesson, and let me tell you, this one's the most powerful of them all. Rejection is redirection. Let that sink in for a second. Every time you're rejected, whether in relationships, your career, or life in general, it's not a failure. It's the universe redirecting you to something better. Think about it. How many times have you looked back on something